What's up, my little mermaids? It's currently almost 3 o'clock in the morning here in the United Kingdom, but I just have to get something off my chest. Now, spoiler alert, if you have not watched episode 7 of season 2 of Rupaul'S Drag Race All Stars, please do not watch this video. Somebody in the United States has just live streamed the episode, which I am very grateful for, because here in the United Kingdom we don't have Logo TV. So if you're a fan of the show, you rely on people in the United States broadcasting it over the internet for you to watch. So I'm sorry, I'm just really frustrated right now. So basically, I haven't been able to sleep and I saw someone was broadcasting it live, so I thought, hey, I'll watch it. Team Katya for the win. That's what I was thinking in my head. I was so nervous that Katya would be sent home today, you know. It was quite a dramatic episode. Can I just put that out here? Because, and apologies now for the noise in the background. In this episode, the queens Roxy, Detox, Alaska, Katya and Alyssa had family members come onto the show, and basically they did partner things, you know, like the mums and sisters were dressed as drag characters, you know, for example, like similar to the, you know, drag queens. For example, Detox starred his sister to look similar to his character, that kind of thing, you know. And that was so refreshing. You know, you had Detox, you know, bringing out that his father had, unfortunately, condolences to him, passed away, and then you had Alyssa with, you know, her sister. And I just want to correct myself, I'm currently not thinking straight, so when I say Detox, I mean her, you know. Anyway, so yeah, and you had Alyssa and her sister, their mother, during the episode. It was the 1 year anniversary of their mother's passing, so just sending condolences out to them. It must have been really difficult being in that situation. And I think all the queens did an epic job. You know, their outfits were on point. And I don't mean to throw any tea or shade, but some queens did do better than the others, like Katya's look. And I'm not saying this as a fan, but Katya's look was, it was stunning. I'm sorry, but it was so stunning. Like the wig and the dress, the makeup, it was gorgeous. Detox looked amazing, and so did her sister. Alyssa was fierce as always. Roxy's outfit, I loved what was going on with her mother, and, you know, the coordinating. It reminded me of when mothers and daughters, you know, dress up similar to each other. It was so cute. And Alaska and her mother's dresses were beautiful. Like, I could totally see myself wearing those dresses. And I'm not going to disclose any names of who got put in the top 2 and who went in the bottom, because obviously some people might not have watched this. And I don't want to give too much away. But what I will say is really annoying me. And again, if you have not watched the episode, please do not watch this video. For a queen to go into the bottom 2, act like a brat, you know, like, this is so in this and so in that, this sucks, when you've been happy to send other queens home that have done really well. You know, they may not have been consistent with their drag to a standard, to a T. You know, they may not have been there for whatever reason. They might have been eliminated, they might have been brought back, whichever. But to throw a temper tantrum and bribe your competitors, saying, I need to stay in the competition, I need this, I need this, I need this. That is not how it works. It's a competition. If you stumbled and fell and didn't do as well as you were expected, get over it. I think it's really hypocritical that a queen is allowed to, sissy that walk and be glamazons and everything. I'm just throwing out some references there. But, to have the power to eliminate another queen and do that every single week, regardless if the queen has been so consistent and perfect and giving it their best, and then for that queen to get in the bottom 2 or 3 or whatever, and then throw a massive hissy fit and bribe, no. To me, that's unacceptable. That is not how competitions work. It's like in the Olympics. If an Olympian is found using steroids or drugs or anything, they are immediately wiped out, Or if they cheat, like, for example, if a swimmer jumps in the water before the whistle goes, they're eliminated, disqualified. Simple. But for a queen to, as I said, bribe the other queen and then throw a massive hissy fit, and then for the other queens to acknowledge that that's total ridiculous behaviour, and then to keep that queen on and then eliminate another queen who slayed that catwalk, who put their 100%, tried to keep all the queens together and just gave their all. It's so frustrating. It's just ridiculous. There's been this whole, this isn't a friends race. You're probably getting hints from that already, and was this whole, before this episode was broadcasted, this whole Relaska Tox thing. Well, brutally honest, I don't agree with, if you're in a competition, just because you're friends with somebody, that you will keep them on just because that you're a friend. If you're really true friends, and for example, like if I was in a competition myself and I had 2 friends standing right beside me and I was in the bottom 3, for example, and if they said, Ray was, churning out amazing looks or choreography or vocals or whatever, but she didn't give her all this week, for example, I would stand there and be like, okay, maybe I didn't give my all. And if they voted me out, I would be like, I respect your decision, because it's a competition. Friendship should not have anything to do with a competition, regardless if you're a friend of somebody, and then to just, throw another queen under the bus to keep somebody else's neck safe, when this individual is happy to throw queens under the bus in a way, even if they slayed or did their best, or they had one tiny little detail that wasn't right and it put them in the bottom, and then they thought, okay, she's good, she's pretty, she's got better dress sense than me, this could be a problem, right, I'm going to vote her out. There's my decision. It's all about strategy, I understand, but you should stay professional within the competition. You don't pick a friend over, anything else. It's a competition, for God's sake. You don't just go saving a friend or whatever because you're worried that, oh, they're not going to like me anymore. Like, if you've been watching, the series as I have been, one queen, I will put this out here, I admire right now, is Roxy Andrews, because, she slays as hard as she can. She goes through so much emotional, you know, setbacks. You know, sometimes her looks aren't as polished as the other queens, or maybe her abilities are not as skillful or strong as the others. And she was in the bottom like 3-4 times, and she was like, listen, I've been in the bottom so many times. If you're going to vote me out, I respect your decision. Not throwing tantrums like, I will pay you $10,000 to keep me in the competition. I have to go to the end. I need this. I want this. Rip my wig off. Throw my you know. I need to like churn it down because I'm realizing I'm giving too many spoilers, and I'm sorry in advance. But you know, best thing to do is when it comes to social media, if you haven't seen something, just stay off social media until you've seen it, basically. But it just frustrates me so much that people would choose friendship over, you know, competitive rivalry, really. I mean, I can understand eliminate the competition, you know, fair enough. But when you're constantly saving somebody else just because, you know, you're friends with that person, you know, like if I was in that competition, for example, and I was in the top 2 and I had to vote somebody off, and if that happens to be a friend, you know, sometimes you just have to put friendship aside. It's like with business. You could be friends with your manager, for example, but there's a line, you know. So imagine this is the competition. Friendship is here. Competition is there. You can be in the middle, you know, and I can't remember which directions I went, but, you know, the friendship could be, you know, when you're not competing, you know, you're just like, you know, doing your makeup, getting all glammed up, you know, friendship can stay there. But when you're competing, you need to be over here. And then when it comes towards the elimination day or whatever, and you need to really send somebody home, you need to be on this side. Because at the end of the day, if every queen throughout Drag Race history had saved a friend or had kept somebody on because, oh, I don't think they deserve to be in the bottom 2 for this reason or whatever, no queen would get anywhere. And to be honest, this episode has frustrated me more than it should have, simply because it's just the amount of hypocrisy. I'm sorry if I've pronounced that wrong, but it was just so hypocritical of the queens today, you know. And it was just ridiculous. You know, like, you wait an entire week to see a program. Like, in the United States, people are able to watch this freely, and watching RuPaul's Drag Race All-Stars has been my highlight of my week most times, you know, aside from seeing family and friends and whatever. You know, it's that one evening in my week that I can sit down and be like, right, my show is about to start, you know, I'm excited. And to be honest, when the competition first started, I was Team Adore. You know, I was Team Adore Delano. You know, I love her. I think she's amazing. And, you know, on that subject, I totally respect her decision to have quit the competition. You know, I've seen on social media so many people, like, being so nasty about it, you know, her leaving the competition. And to be honest, you cannot not take 5 minutes to think why she would have been in that situation. You know, she wasn't right mentally, you know, she was going through such a difficult time, you know. Her father had passed away. She was dealing with such horrible confidence issues, which, you know, she stated during season 6 that was partly due to, you know, the things that her dad said to her as a child, you know. And then her boyfriend had left her, you know, via text message, you know, and then you come on to a competition, you know, ready to slay and party because, you know, she looked fucking cool. And then to have somebody who, to be frankly honest, not naming names, who hasn't been in the spotlight and the limelight for many years, aside from coming out, you know, given that little bit of publicity again, to say things that they did, you know. And to be honest, as I said, I'm not naming names, so I think we already know, but again, a bit hypocritical, because if you look at that episode, it wasn't exactly your outfit. I'm not even going to go into it. I'm not Bianca Del Rio. I can't read people to, you know, to the T. But, you know, I can understand now why the pressures would have been too much. If all the queens are just going to be so immature to the point of just, you know, not following the agreement. And the agreement at the start of the competition was to take the judges' critiques as the main reasoning behind eliminations. You know, like when, you know, you have two bottom queens, for example, let's say if Detox and Fifi O'Hara, for example, just put names out there, if they were in the bottom two, the other queens would be like, right, well, this was said about her dress or her runway look, for example, but at the same time, her performance was outstanding, whereas the other queen was, your runway look was horrible, or your makeup was terrible, or you didn't quite give me that fire in your eyes, that kind of thing. You know, negative critiques, you know, they would eliminate the queen with the worst critiques. And then I've noticed as more and more of the queens have been eliminated, that's taken a back shelf. It's literally just been, this was our agreement, we're going to do it our way. You know, it's like you kind of take away the agreement, really. And it was really frustrating to watch, you know, like, it was just really frustrating. You know, I just wanted to get this rant out because, you know, at the end of the day, it was really frustrating to watch. But on a more positive side, as I said, all the girls looked fantastic. You know, they looked really lovely, and it was really heartwarming to hear and see Alyssa finally letting some deep felt emotions out. You know, it was really because sometimes when you watch people on TV and over the internet, you forget sometimes that they're actually, you know, real people with feelings. You just see the polished image, and, you know, you forget that sometimes these people are human inside. And it was really lovely to see Alyssa and her sister, you know, bond again after so many months, even years of not really sitting down and talking about what it was that was on their mind and what happened. And then the same with Detox. You know, it was really lovely to see her, you know, open up about the struggles that she had gone through and everything. It was really lovely. And I'm also just so relieved that the queen that I am rooting for now is through to the next stage. But just to, you know, conclude this rant, I don't agree with the result today. I think it's fixed, you know, and not fixed as in, you know, Mama Ru had anything to do with it. You know, even when I watched her reaction, that she would, you know, I could tell she was like, you know, thinking, I think I've made a mistake by letting the queens eliminate each other. But at the same time, I'm really happy that, you know, my queen in my eyes is going to hopefully slay and win this competition. I'm praying. Bye bye. Bye bye, Katya. Anyway, guys, thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. And